Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Ultimate Reactions. I'm your host, Tori McGowan. Please follow me on the socials. And if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon for post notifications. Today, we're going to look at two creepy teen stories that will leave you having the chills. So let's take a look.
My name is Starla. I'm 17 and I come from a very big town and live in a huge neighborhood with lots of neighbors. I've lived in this neighborhood since I was a little girl. I'm going to tell you a story about the old lady next door. Now, you've heard me mention before that I've lived in this neighborhood since I was a child. This is how it all started. I was 6 years old when we first arrived at our new house. I was super excited about moving
She
since
does
I
look
was a very quiet
excited.
kid and had little friends. I wanted to start over and boost my self-esteem a little. Once we got to our new home, we were welcomed by an old lady and her husband. They gave my mother and my younger siblings welcome baskets and sweets. My mother had a little chat with the old lady and her husband as my siblings and I walked into the house to take a look inside and choose our own rooms.
And choose the best
45
room in the
minutes
house.
went by, so I went to go check up on my mother, and as I walked through the door, she was waving them goodbye and smiling. I waved goodbye too, and as I looked at the old lady, she had this creepy smile on her face, almost as if she was forcing it but trying a little too hard.
Yeah, I would say that face on that creepy old lady would be giving me the chills. Nobody would be like this. Oh my gosh.
At night, my mother set up our rooms. I noticed that I had a window, and through the window I could see another window that lets me see into the old lady's house. I went to sleep shortly after my mother kissed me goodnight. I was confused because of how tired I was. I shouldn't have woken up in the middle of the night. I rubbed my eyes, and for some reason, I turned my head to look out the window, and what I seen scared the crap out of me. The old lady was staring at me through her window into my room with a wide, scary smile. As soon as she noticed that I seen her, she started screaming loudly and banging her head on the glass window. I was terrified. I ran to my mother's room and told her what I had seen. My mother went to go check.
I don't think I would be able to sleep after seeing that face, and especially when the old lady was banging her head like this. I don't think I would sleep the rest of the night on that one. Wow. Wow.
Out, and all she had seen was the cracked glass window with blood smeared on it. The old lady was gone.
Wonder where she went to.
My mother went to talk to the old lady's husband, and he mentioned that his wife is schizophrenic and she also has some other type of mental disorder. He apologized to me and my mother, and till this day, this old lady still watches me through my window, and she even stands under it at night.
That would be very creepy. I would move rooms, especially with a window that does not face the old lady's house. Oh my gosh. But the only thing is, the old lady probably would go around and find the next window. I think the best thing for this family to do is just move out of that house, even though they've been in that neighborhood for all their lives. But that's my opinion.
Times I wonder if she's been inside the house before we moved in, and before she started watching me through the window and standing under it. And if I haven't noticed, would she have found a way into the house?
No.
And would she watch me in my own room?
Now, that crosses the line for me. So this story was called The True Old Lady Horror Story. Let's see what the next story is called. So this next story is called The Bus Horror Story.
There's this girl who was studying in a very popular university here in our country, Up Diliman. University of the Philippines. This university is very huge and has a lot of campuses. You need to ride a jeepney, a popular public transport here in our
Jeepney.
country, for you to be able to get to where you're heading on time. There are different jeepneys to
It must be called a jeepney in certain places. We call them buses here in the US, in Canada.
route. One night, she was heading to her dorm after a late night study. She, of course, rode a jeepney. This was almost midnight,
A
and
bus?
there weren't a lot of people going to her route, so she was all alone in the jeep. She got on the jeepney, then it started to move. Everything was going fine until a few minutes later, she noticed the driver staring at her so
That would be
intensely.
creepy. Oh my
He was
gosh.
staring at her in the mirror,
Ooh.
then tried to look at her directly a couple of times. She became uncomfortable and just tried not to make eye contact.
I would not make eye contact either, especially if I had two eyeballs just staring at me through a mirror. Oh my gosh. That gives me the chills just thinking of it right now. Let's continue with it.
After a minute, she looked at the driver again just to see if he was still trying to check her out, and to her shock, he was still excessively looking at her for no reason. He would try to alternate looking at the road and at her since he was driving, but the way he was
Literally,
looking
his
was
eyes
so
are going like this.
terrifying. It almost looked like he was trying to keep an eye on her. She then slid far from the driver's seat and tried to just look outside, even though it was so dark. She was almost at her destination when she noticed that the driver wasn't actually driving to where her dorm was at this point. She was so scared, but tried not to make it obvious and told the driver, "Mister, this isn't where my dorm is." At this moment, the driver wasn't looking at her anymore and was just focused
that's
on the
good.
road. She noticed his facial expression. He actually looked like he wasn't hearing her and seemed very scared. At this point, the driver was also driving fast.
He completely looks like he has not gotten any sleep. His eyes are totally red. Oh my gosh. And it looks like he's tearing up or like sweating really bad. Whew. I probably would be that way too.
Than he should. She was so scared, so she tried to tell him again,
I would be scared too.
"Mister, this isn't the right direction. This isn't where my dorm is." But still,
He
the
looks
driver wasn't
totally
paying
afraid.
attention to her, and it seemed like he couldn't even hear her. She almost gave up and just accepted her fate that something bad might happen to her. She planned to shout for help or just jump out of the vehicle if the driver stopped and tried to get to her. After almost 5 minutes of just driving, the driver then decided to go to her original destination. When she saw her dorm building from afar, her heart started to race. She almost considered just jumping out of the vehicle, but then the driver actually
would.
stopped in front of her building, and she got out as quickly as she could. She had just started running and was about to run to the door when the driver stopped her and said something.
What do you think the driver's gonna say to her? Leave in the comments what you think that the driver is going to say.
"Wait, miss. When you get to your room, replace the clothes that you have on now. Set them on fire or throw them away. I
Really?
saw in the mirror earlier that you have no head. It must be a bad spirit
Oh
trying to
my
get you."
gosh.
So I tried to just drive around in circles to divert
Gives
it
me the
and
chills.
prayed. I didn't drive to the right direction until I saw that you got your head back. Be extra careful next time. She was so shocked when she heard this and didn't want to believe it. It turned out the driver couldn't hear her because she had no head. She got to her room.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Let's continue the story and finish it. That's crazy, creepy, crazy, crazy, creepy.
Woke up her roommate and told her everything. She then proceeded to take the driver's advice and throw away her clothes. She was so thankful for the driver for what he did, but it was indeed one of the scariest things she experienced.
Holy moly, moly, moly. that story gave me the chills. It actually gave me more chills than the first story did. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you didn't get too scared. I didn't really get scared, but just trying to be dramatic to y'all. I will leave a link to the YouTube channel that I got these from, so go check more videos like this and stories. So hopefully everybody is taking good care of themselves, staying safe, enjoying time with their families. Halloween is coming up here, so I will see you next time. So peace out.